Now my dad's going to have a conversation with me. Dad's learning how to use Instagram and Facebook and everything. So, ay, ay, ay. All right. I think we are good to go. All right. Hello and welcome, everybody. Oh, maybe not yet. Jeez,
Jumping the gun again.
right. Been back to back all day. It's like we gotta go. Like got things to do. I think we're good to go. All right. Now we're good to go. Hello and welcome, everybody. I am Tammy. That's hubby Lance. We're the Journey to Healing, or part of the Journey to Healing team. And we are here to welcome everybody in and help you through your wins and your struggles of building health, Dr. Boz style. So we are coming off of the Dr. Boz 21-day metabolic kick. So we are fired up and ready to go. And it's one of those, we've had a great class. Anybody that has never done this, I'm telling you, you need to start saving for it now. I've had one of the best classes I've ever had. And good to see you there, Keith. So many people that have made it through this. It's hard to get the whole class across the finish line and everybody kicking in. And I'm telling you, we had newbies with DBRs sky high that have finished up with DBRs in the teens and single digits. So it's just one, Olivia, we keep throwing your numbers out there and was your little incentive for everybody jumping in and trying to get everybody going. So, right. Keith, if you haven't met Keith and Karen, if you guys haven't met Olivia, this is Olivia, the one we talk about with the regular DBR of 4. So she's the one coming. So we're just so proud to be here with all of you, but it's been such a blessing. And I am telling you guys, start saving now for the next 21 day, because even my body, as hard as my body is to get going, as much damage as I've had between chemo, cancer, heart attacks, all of the stuff, it took till today or yesterday, this morning, of 21 days in, no cheats, no anything, keeping my DBR nice as low as I can get it, but my body fights me. It took me till today, and I started the 1st of September. We started that first week with Boz as the coaches, so she checks our numbers and everything from that, and it took me till today to get a DBR of 25. So that is just how hard my body fights me. That metabolic health is consistency, not perfection, but it's consistency and not jumping in and out. And it just proved to me, even as a veteran and as a coach, that you've got to get those numbers there and stay there to build health. You know, jumping in and out is not going to be the way we build this. And it was just nice, even though my body is so stubborn and so broken, we could still do this. But it took me this many damn days to get there. So we're getting there, but it's been a journey and we love it. So I can't wait. Get in. So how are we doing?
You okay?
I'm good.
All right.
Except my chair was rolling
Rolling down.
rolling downhill. All right. So how you checking in?
I'm all good. Just backing her up on every chance I get.
There's the man. All right, guys, come on in. Olivia, we've been talking about you all week and I keep using you for an example. So come on in, share how you're doing, and come and tell us how your journey's going.
Let's see. The journey's doing good. This week I did week number 5 of the 72-hour fast. Yeah, and the one thing I didn't do was I did not eat my my sardine and cod liver patty like I normally do. So I think that affected the total result. Also, I wasn't like in a higher ketosis. I was in ketosis, but not as high as I can be when I started the fast. So it does affect the numbers after 3 days. I did end up with a DBR of 9 this morning. So not as good as a 4, but it's still 9, and so I'm still happy with that. So yeah, so still doing okay.
I love it.
Great job.
We're so proud of you. And I love you being that example that we can all look at. And just know Olivia didn't start out with good DBRs either. You know, she was sick and had issues to work on. She's done this because she's done the work and stayed consistent. She's part of our team and we travel with her and we know how she does this. And I'm telling you, the girl shows up with a backpack over her arm with her food prepped out and ready. She comes prepared no matter what we're doing. So she's just such a living, walking testament of this journey, staying consistent, what it can do for you. So We're so proud to be here. And I'll have to share a little story on with you afterwards of my sardine and cod liver problem. Jeez, yeah. We'll talk later. Keith's laughing at me. He knows. Had a moment. Had a moment for sure. All right. Good job, Olivia. Come on in, Diana. Come and tell us how you're doing.
Me?
Yes.
Right off the rip.
I'm-
Our other rock star. I
I'm,
mean,
I'm doing okay. Been a pretty good week. Went out and probably got a little too much exercise this week. My shoulder's kind of being a little stubborn, and I'm a little frustrated with that. I feel so much better than I've ever felt, and I don't know when, and so much energy more than what I've ever had, and I don't know when, and I just want to go. It's just not
Easy
quite
does it. Easy does it. It'll bite you right square in the butt.
you know.
and just know too, Diana's one of those people that's had some cortisone injections and some issues that she's having to deal with, but she got her chemistry so nice and strong before her injection that she has made it through a cortisone shot, which is very unheard of, and stay in ketosis that whole time. So working to keep that DVR nice and low through injections, through an injury, you know, she's hurting, she's in pain, so that raises cortisol, but learning to get that chemistry shift down nice and low and get that DBR nice and low and staying consistent in that. Diane, I'm just proud of you for the work that you're doing. You're not jumping ship when the going gets rough. And this is how we make this a lifestyle. And this is how you build health. So I'm just proud of you. So nice work.
Nice
I'm
job.
to jump ship. This is pretty serious. I'm gonna find out Tuesday. Well, maybe, yeah, Tuesday afternoon. I should probably know where my kidneys are at. I want to know so bad.
You know,
Stay there.
Yep. Anybody that's wondering that, you know, if you've had kidney failure or kidney numbers go down or anything like that, as you get into autophagy and you start cleaning up those broken cells and building new cells, that is where you can actually see kidney numbers improve. So I'll be anxious to hear your number and what happens. And when you're healing at the cellular level, like we do, that is where this is cellular turnover, and you can see new regeneration and new things happening that, you know, just kind of half-assing it or jumping in and out and things like that, you don't see those changes. But when your labs come back and you see it in your numbers, and I'm telling you, the 21-day course, watching 200 people across the board, just everybody's numbers increasing and getting better, and their labs are changing. When you see it with 200 people, it's so inspiring to know we are on the right path. We are doing the right thing, and it's just staying consistent and doing it. So good job. We're proud of you, Diane.
That's where that consistency we talk about always comes into play. So you got to be consistent, and when you're there where you are, Diana, that's where you just kind of stay and ride and just make it happen in, day out. Then you'll see that number change. You'll see those kidney numbers change. The more consistent you are, the more time you have to heal, and it's just so good.
Yep. Good job.
Nice job.
Nice work. Come on in, Sue.
Doesn't look like Sue's camping tonight.
Is Sue home? Where's your boy? You need to text him, tell him get on here. Hang on.
There it
There
goes.
it is.
There you are.
No, I'm not camping. We got about a 3 or 4 week break in here, unfortunately. Joe's supposed to go Civil War camping tomorrow, but with the storm coming up here through Indiana, I'm not sure he's going to go. But 50-mile-an-hour winds, 70-mile-an-hour winds, and rain in a canvas tent is not going to be fun. Anyway, I ain't going. I'm fine. I'm tired tonight. I'm really tired tonight, and I'm not really sure why. It's been a very busy day. I met with a different doctor this morning. I have some things to work on for that. I've got blood tests I'm going to be doing Monday. And then he wants a heart scan just to make sure that everything's okay. So I'm going to do that on the 3rd. But other than that, you know, we shared a little and talked a little, and I want to say a different route I'm going for a week or two. We'll see what happens. I'm still going to take my numbers and all. They're not great, but you know, they're not 400 and 500. So I guess I'm
There you
still
go.
okay.
Good.
So that's where we're at. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, it's something I've been wanting to do. I wanted somebody that actually knew what to look for in your numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe that won't matter, but when your original doctor says you're an insulin sensitive test wasn't necessary because I'm not insulin resistant, that's baloney. and he said that the blood test she did send me for, he said they're worthless. I'll tell you something right there. So anyway, I'm anxious to see what happens, what it goes, and we'll go from there. I've never got any negative feedback about what I'm doing. It's just that I need to cut down what I'm eating. Macros, I don't even need to look at them. So, it's a whole different ball game. So we'll see what happens, but I'm okay.
I'll be curious to see too, because, I mean, as much as we all get tired, I think as Sarah, we was just talking about, we all get tired of tracking. That's a pain in the butt. It gets annoying, all those kind of things. But you know what? It's the only way we know what's really going on. So
Right.
that's the cool part of you moving forward and trying something different. There's nothing wrong with that. No harm, no foul. But tracking that DBR and keeping that DBR low,
yeah.
if what you're doing is working for you, that DBR will stay nice and low. And that's the win in it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of you can look at a program. Just like my cardiologist tried to tell me to do the Mediterranean diet. I'm like, dude, I can show you in my numbers exactly what happens when I do the Mediterranean diet. Those kind of things, but you can prove it to yourself and him if it's working or not. So if changing those macros work for you, then more power to you. And that DBR is what's going to tell you if it's working or not.
Well, I'm still taking that. I'll still be taking them and reporting and all that. So I'm not really changing anything. It's just that I need to eat less than I'm eating. And that may be the whole weight problem.
You know what? That's a lot of what Boz has been touching on too, is the volume, for us to bring that volume down and moving that eating window closer to sunrise. And, it's a couple things, even as a coach, even as a veteran, it's like, you know what? I think it's time for us to hit that. I think it's time to move that eating window up, and it's working on that volume of food.
Right. And sometimes you just need a change. You need, I mean, I started paleo. I've done keto. I've done ketovore, and I went to carnivore. So sometimes I need something a little bit more strict. Yep. And I really can't say it's going to be more strict. It's just going to be changing the amount of food I eat and the hours that I'm eating.
Absolutely. Which is right on plan. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
So. And that's being in touch with what you are doing and what your numbers say. And that's just kudos to you for trying that, to try to tweak that to get a little better. You're always playing with it. So that's awesome. You're going in the right direction.
Well, and does everybody... you all know that I cannot get my weight to move. Mm-hmm. And I've struggled with that for a year. And if it's a volume issue, then I ought to know pretty quickly that that's going to work. And I would think that would affect the numbers. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens.
There's two things I will say, as much as I know Sue don't like them either. So Sue's my soul sister in the sardines here. We don't like them, but I will tell you this, that is one thing that sardines taught me, is if 4.5 ounces of sardine fills me up, I do not need a 22-ounce ribeye. And that has been a good visual and a good learning lesson on it, that it does teach you that just because I love it and it tastes really good does not mean I need a pound of it.
You need to eat it all.
You need to eat it all. I mean, we had steaks last night, and it's like, it's going to feed me for the next 3 days. I mean, it's just one of those. Mm-hmm. So we're learning to apply that. The other thing I want to throw out is, how many of us have, we're veterans on here. I know a bunch of my veterans are on here. How many of us pretty much ended up carnivore? Mm-hmm. Is that okay? So what that comes down to, it makes it easier to juggle numbers. But here's what I want everybody to make sure they understand. And Dr. Boz has even talked about this a couple of times. Carnivore does not mean in ketosis necessarily. Right. So it's one of those, I think of it as a carnivore mindset with a keto chemistry. And all that means is we eat the carnivore but you got to up those fats enough to keep ketones in circulation for the healing process.
Mhm.
So if you have things that we're trying to heal, kidneys, weight, brain, all of those things, ketones have to be in circulation, and you
Right.
don't always get that. Some people can reach it with just doing carnivore, but most people do not get that for long term just being carnivore. So I don't know. It's just, again, one of those beautiful things that we know because we check our numbers every morning, as annoying as it is.
And
Mhm.
watch, Sue, when you do make this change, watch your energy level, because you may have decreased energy level if you're reducing your fat, and if you're fat adapted, if you trained your body to run on fat, you're going to pull some of that away. It might take a little bit of a transition period for your body to go find the fat that you have.
Okay.
So you may have a decrease, or you may have a wall of energy that you're not used to. So
Okay.
just be mindful of it, because I know that when I'm not running enough fat, I can tell, because I don't have enough energy. But
Okay.
I have different circumstances than you do, but the first thing you'll notice is that drop off of energy. So don't just be mindful of it, because you're going to take some fuel away, and you have to get that transition to a different fuel again. You know what I mean?
I can't say that I actually have the energy that a lot of you talk about. I'm not real sure that it's there. I can tell when ketones are running, but I'm not sure I have that level of energy.
Well, just you may notice it when you take it away.
Okay.
It may have come on so gradually that you're not noticing it, and you're just more active, and you just do things, and it's okay now. When you take it away, you're gonna say, "Damn, I'm dragging."
Yeah, I'm driving tonight. I did almost 10, right at 10,000 steps yesterday. I did 5 miles at the gym, 4 on the
Nice.
bike and a mile on the treadmill. And today I've got over 7,000 steps because I made him go for a walk with me earlier.
Nice.
So I'm dragging tonight, but I think that's why. Not
Nice work,
necess-
though. You've used up your
It
ketones.
is. It
Right?
is. It's work. Yeah.
That's obvious. Just amazing. So good job.
Good job, Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
we're
work.
working on it.
Nice
Keep
work.
us
Yes.
informed.
Oh, I will. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here.
Okay.
Text Jeff and tell him get on and see us.
Oh, yeah. I haven't talked to him for a week, and so we'll see what happens.
Being the bad son, huh? Or
You
just
know,
busy.
he's got that new job, and he's
Yep.
working 6 in the morning till 6:30 at night.
It's a long
So,
day.
yeah, it is.
All right, Keith, come on in and check in.
Gonna hit Keith right out of the ball. We're gonna make him
We're big digging you out right away.
sit up and pay attention.
Hey there.
How you doing, Keith?
Doing good. I'm doing well. Just finishing up the 21 days, and it's going fairly good. My DBR this morning was, I think, 20, right at 20.
He's out.
And
Nice.
that was with a glucose of 97 or 98 and 4.9 on
Good
the.
Lord.
Well, we just finished the 3-day fast, so I actually had 5.9 yesterday.
My
So it's kind
goodness.
of coming
Making
down.
ketones like
They
crazy.
said my whole
Yeah.
group was just
Yeah.
amazing.
I don't think I've ever made that big of ketones.
Uh-uh.
My glucose will go down, but my ketones won't go that your guys is 4 and 5. I've never seen that.
You need to get in and do the 21 day with us.
All right.
I'm trying to make you
so
come in and help me
every-
next month or next time.
I'm sorry, something's attacking me here. I think it's a loose hair or something. Anyway, so but everything's going good. Other than that, I'm trying to get blood pressure under control. I just hit my weight goals from my doctor. Well, actually, I hit my weight goals about a week ago, but I'm down into the 160s. I started at about 240, had the distended stomach, and I was really heavy. I had issues with platelets were down at 7,500, so I had autoimmune disease. And those have come back to, I think my last blood work was like 145 or something like that. 135 is the minimum, and I was at 7,500, so I was in danger of bleeding out.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's my doctor said he had never seen anybody clear that up. Anyway, let's see what else. I had blood pressure issues. I had metabolic syndrome, all those sorts of things, IBS. I'm off of almost all my medication except for the high blood pressure. So
Nice.
Nice.
hit my goal weight. So, and now I'm in the 160s. So where I
Nice.
need to be.
Nice work, really. I mean,
It was a good 21 days. Well
it
spent.
is.
Good deal.
It is. It's an honor to be a part of your team. It's just amazing, I think, to see how many ailments, how many issues, whatever you want to call it, that you can reverse when we stay steady and do this. And, there's not many things you can do that can say we can reverse all of that, and it has a step-by-step program. So I'm just proud to be on your team with you, and it's been a pleasure being your coach. So I love it. So good job. Nice work. Come on in, Dorothy. Another veteran to the group.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Diana and Sue, I'll be praying for y'all this week, hoping that y'all get good test results. And I'm doing fine. I'm just staying consistent. My DBR this morning was 29, so I'm happy
Nice.
with that. My glucose was 68, and my ketones are 2.3.
Sweet.
I am walking 2 miles every day, which I haven't done in years. And like Sue, I didn't have the energy yesterday for some reason. So this morning I'm like, I'm going to skip it. And I got up and it was 70 degrees and it was the wind was breezy blowing, and I was like, I'm going walking. So I did it.
Nice.
But I feel better now. So maybe it was just a bad day or something, but I'm just hanging in. We're going camping tomorrow, so I keep telling myself I'm gonna be Olivia. So I went to the grocery store today. I stocked my camper, so I have no excuses. And I will still be on Zooms and stuff, but we will be at our campground for 30 days.
Sweet.
30 days. That's awesome. Nice work. And Dorothy, I'm just proud of you, because anybody that's dealt with autoimmune disease, that's not easy to deal with. And Dorothy stays consistent, puts her nose to the grindstone and stays in it. And that is not easy. Autoimmune is one of those, you don't get the luxury of jumping in and out. We don't get the luxury of kind of half-assing it or anything like that. You got to get in, get that DBR low and stay there. And that's how you reverse that autoimmune disease. And, there's not many, I don't know of any, if there is any. There's, most autoimmune stuff, they just say yep, you got it. Here's
the pill, take it, keep going.
Here's your prescription to cover up some symptoms, is what it comes out to.
Yeah, my numbers did decrease from March when I was tested originally to August. So I'll be excited to see what November holds. So because I wasn't really consistent between March and August, but I had gotten started pretty good the middle of June. So I'm hoping with my consistency that the numbers will be.
And does everybody understand, like, when you have an autoimmune or anything like that, it's like putting out that, and sometimes I feel like I don't mean to cut people short when they're talking about, oh, I have this symptoms, or I have IBS, or I have irritable bowel, or I have Hashimoto's, or they go through the gamut of list of things that they have wrong. The answer is the same. The answer to the symptom is the same. It's bringing that insulin fire down. It's keeping that DBR as low as you can get it. And it's one of those, we can put whatever title on it we want. We can put whatever diagnosis the doctor wants to hand us all. It's all that same thing. But when you look at what is the answer and how do we solve it, the answer is the same as getting that insulin down, getting that DBR as low as you can, and staying there.
Inflammation out.
Autophagy, hitting that autophagy is where all that stuff, that magic starts to happen. Come on in, Keith. Got a question?
Yeah, I just want to say something. That is the one thing that my doctor never diagnosed me with. I was diagnosed with, pre-diabetes, but he never said you had high insulin and you need to get it taken.
How many of us too they say the pre-diabetes and things like that. I just call BS on it. It's most of that. If you look at it and look at our glucoses through the years, how many of us probably have been diabetic for years, just never diagnosed? I mean, it's just one of the, I've never been diagnosed. I've been, pre-diabetic, whatever, but nobody's ever said diabetes. But it's like, you look at my glucoses, for God's sake. I can't imagine what they used to be. I carried fruit smoothies around all day long and fed a lot of glucose into my body because it was healthy, right? So those kind of things, we look at it now and it's like, I can't imagine what we all dealt with, back, even trying to eat clean and healthy. I didn't eat junk food. I wasn't a junk food junkie. I've never drank sodas or pops or anything like that. I ate clean and healthy. Fruits and veggies was going to save the world
Right.
and my health, and it didn't work. So it's those things, we learn that as we go. But the autoimmune stuff, you got to get in nice and deep. The, diabetes, you got to get in there and turn it around. If those morning waking glucoses are over 100, you're heading to diabetes. I mean, that's just, you're not healing on the inside. Your liver is not cleaning out through the night. You've got to get that morning waking glucose under 100. The lower under 100, the more healing and good properties that you're having. So get that glucose down.
And one way to think about it too, you've had an umpteen amount of time to be free with whatever you did until symptoms arise that you now need to get diagnosed. That's been 30, 40, 50 years worth. I mean, you have to really, to change all of that big whole pattern, you have to really be consistent and not do anything else. And you have to have a little bit more focus in the way you want to change.
And I think there's a lot to be said too, is our bodies will handle it until it can't.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. It could be one silly day, one silly meal, one silly activity. Mine was, I swear, the day they put chemo in my body, I went from 110 pounds of nice and healthy and fit and strong to 210 pounds. I mean, the day chemo went in my body hit overload and changed. And I know Rebecca's in that same boat. She's a triple negative breast cancer survivor as well. And when you have that kind of toxin put in your body, I always, I look at my girls and my kids that I want to look at and say, you need to stay as damn strong and healthy and ready to fight as you can, because God forbid you ever get a diagnosis. I want you to have your pseudo armor on. I want ketones in circulation. I want you to be ready to fight, because chemo kicked my butt and I was as healthy and fit as any adult I've ever known. And it's one of those, if it kicked my butt being healthy and fit, I can't imagine being somebody that's coming in behind the 8 ball and not having that strength to start out. I mean, it's a rough fight. It's a hard fight, and it's a fight for your life. But having ketones in circulation and having healthy metabolic health before you hit a problem is such a I mean, it's just the key. I'm sure every cancer survivor on here will say, if I had a do-over, if I could hit a do-over button, it would be get my chemistry as strong as I could get it before I was diagnosed.
Well, Tammy, it's just not cancer. I mean, not that I'm cutting that.
No,
absolutely,
at all,
right.
But like my symptoms that I had in March, and I had made a list of them. I'm going to pull that list out and see how many of those symptoms I no longer have, because it's amazing, like Lance says, over time, you have this pain. Oh, well, that's normal. You're getting older. Oh, this is happening now. Oh, I'm getting older. But you can reverse it. And
absolutely,
most of them.
Those are those little non-scale victories that we talk about, like when you first get on this journey and you notice, hey, I can go down the steps now and my knee doesn't hurt. Or I can pick up that laundry basket and my shoulder doesn't hurt. Those little things right there that you always take for granted, that, hey, this just happens. I'm getting old. Oh, yeah. No. You know what I mean?
For Lance's dad, what was he, 83 when he was, or 82 when he started this with us, and he's a fart in a frying pan. Like, the man worked circles around 40-year-old men. You can't slow this man down. And I remember when him sitting at the table when he started with us and everything, he used to come over and do the classes with us and everything. And he would sit there and you would see him just keep making he's like, my hands don't hurt.
He always had, we worked with our hands. We did construction. Him and I did construction for 25 years, nonstop. I think he went for 30 and I joined him for the last 25. But we work with our hands and we work with our bodies, and your hands would get so sore. And he was having inflammation all in his joints, his hands, his wrists, and it was hard for him to make fists. I mean, he would have to constantly work his hands all day just to keep them loose. And then when he got on this, he was just like, my hands don't hurt. He would just, my hands, he was like, they don't hurt anymore. So I mean, it's all that inflammation coming out. Now he's
my main symptom was, go ahead.
He's 84 and he's out splitting wood.
Well,
So
my main symptom was my legs would burn from my knees down. It was like a neuropathy.
Neuropathy.
And every night they would burn so bad. And thank God they're not burning anymore, so.
it's telling you something.
Right.
Mhm.
So I guess all of those things, it doesn't matter. And it's not just a cancer thing. It's a diabetes, it's a arthritis, it's heart disease, it's autoimmune, it's thyroid, it's all the above. Put title, whatever the title you want to put on it, whatever the diagnosis you want to put on it, the answer is the same. The
Yeah.
answer is a process is the same. So nice job, Dorothy. We're proud of you.
And I just want to say,
you.
you look like you have a pep in your step tonight. You
Right.
sounded in
You
your
got the
voice.
glow.
I mean, you can hear it in your voice. I mean, yeah, you got up and you walked and you feel good and you can just hear it. You see it, you hear it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Thank
I
you.
love, we point this out a lot of times, but you can tell when people get that 6 to 8 week session in, you see everybody hit the glow. And it's like, I keep saying when I start classes, I'm going to take a snapshot on the screen and then check it again in a couple months. And you see, and here's how I look at that. If your skin is turning over and making new healthy glowy cells, nice supple cells, nice new healthy cells, can you imagine what that's doing on the inside? So that's my arteries, my organs, my everything. And it's like, maybe that's my silly little analogy, but to me that it's like, your body's not stupid. If it's doing that on the outside that you can visibly see it, can you imagine what's happening on the inside to our brain cells, to cleaning up those broken proteins, to healing the problems that are in there? So it's just neat. Nice work. Good
Nice
job.
Thank you.
Dorothy.
Come on in, Rebecca.
Oh, look at
Caught her
she's
up.
surprises.
Just
She
a
knows.
second. I thought you were going to go to a lot of these other people. Well, I'm really glad to be here tonight. And I didn't realize how many of us that are in the 21 days with Tammy are here. So it's like, yay, Keith
awesome.
and
Reunion.
Dawn and Clay and Karen. Who else? Who's it here? Somebody else. I don't know. And then Valerie down here is someone from my last group, Tammy. So I invited her tonight.
Awesome. Thank
And
you.
so, and then Olivia, we were in like my first group back with
Right.
Tammy a year ago. So this is just
We got a
fun.
reunion
It's like
going
there's
on.
a few new people that I don't know. But it's like really fun to see so many people. So I'm glad to be here, Tammy. I'm glad that you and Lance are doing this on a Thursday night because I couldn't do your Monday night thing or Tuesday, whatever the other one was. But this works for me. So I'm like, yay. Okay, good.
Very good.
So I don't, what do I share, Tammy? I'm like,
Tell
this is my
tell
third
everybody how
time.
you're doing.
I'm doing fine. I mean, we just finished, just like Keith. I mean, my numbers are fantastic today just because we just finished the second fast, right, in our 21 days. So my DBR was 22, and my ketones were 3.9, not quite as much as Keith, but yesterday they were that high. And so, for the third time doing it, they're still, they're high, they're good. So I'm pleased with that.
And I just want to throw in and jump in. Rebecca's not going to toot her own horn, but she is also a triple negative breast cancer. And she has dealt with damage that we don't get to half-ass it. We don't get to kind of do it. And when we do the same things that everybody else does, our body never reacts the same. We have to push 10 times harder to get half the process done. And I will just say, Rebecca, I am so proud of you. And I love watching your numbers and knowing this process isn't always easy. And sometimes it's just downright hard and it sucks. But we know we're on the right path of having to push through it and we're going to get there. And I'm just proud of you from one warrior sister to another. I am so glad and proud of you to see your numbers changing. And that's all we could ask for at our stage. I just
want to say something for people who don't know about that. When I got my diagnosis, which was a couple of years after Tammy did, but I was way older. So like Tammy, you were saying earlier, like it was a good thing that I was in the best shape of my life and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I was not. I was 49, no, 40, 49. And I had already had at that point, almost 30 years of this mess, of this metabolic mess that nobody was fixing. And it just was getting worse and worse. So when I get cancer, everybody's like, well, of course you're having this problem because even though I have no risk factors whatsoever, except for I was obese. And so, of course, that's what the doctors, who haven't been helping me all these years,
now want to help.
No help. But they don't know how to help. And
Right.
what they tell me is completely wrong. And so so when I get into it, I'm a mess. And then I go through everything that Tammy talks about. And I remember the doctor telling me, I'm sad to tell you that this is you're triple negative and your chances of surviving are 30% for the next 2 years. After that, there's a 70% that you won't make it to 10 years out. And okay, so I'm 17 years out at this point. Okay. The only reason, it's 2 reasons. It's God, and it's
Absolutely.
also it's my attempting to do this kind of thing through. Now, the first part I didn't know, but I was already doing low carb stuff because at a level that I understood, because I was so hypoglycemic all the time, crashing all the time. And it led me here eventually. But shoot, it was hard. Nobody can find this easily. Now it's easier, but
Yes.
you got to really look, and your doctors don't tell you any of this.
No.
So their whole reason was the only thing we can tell you, Rebecca, it's because you're obese. And I'm like, thanks. Thanks,
That
guys.
helps. That
You
helps a
haven't
lot,
helped
right?
me at all. You've just made, now I feel bad because I've caused this myself. And so it's like, great. Now, good news, I don't carry the breast cancer gene. So none of my family has to worry. My sons, which I didn't know, my son's daughter, my grandchildren, anything like that. But it's the metabolic problem.
Right.
And that's really what it is. And
Yep.
so anyway, I'm here. I'm glad to be here, guys. I'm lovely that you guys change your time.
Yes.
This
I'm
is
so
good.
glad you're here. And did everybody catch the ending of what she talked when she said she doesn't have the BRCA gene? So she's not worried about, we don't have to worry about that BRCA gene passing on. Metabolic health, though, we teach that to our kids, good and bad. We
Yeah.
taught them how to get up and have a Pop-Tart and an apple for breakfast. We
Yep.
taught them how to put a fruit smoothie in and think that's going to be the answer to your metabolic health.
Fish sticks and tater tots.
He was a bachelor with 2 girls that standing there looking at him. He was the king of fish sticks and tater tots. So, we learn how to do those things and we teach it to our kids. And I think it's one of those things that when you're talking metabolic health, when we're talking, I'm predisposed for diabetes because my mother is diabetic or my dad is diabetic. No, you're not. You're just taught the same damn habits that your parents had. It's normal to get up and eat all day long. It's normal to get up and snack 15 times a day. How many of our kids now get breakfast in the morning, a snack when they get to school,
Lunch.
a snack at lunch, or another meal, crappy meal at lunch, a snack in the afternoon, come home from school, get another snack, then dinner, and then they want a snack before bed. We all fell for it. I mean, it's ridiculous that it's like our kids are not going to starve to death if they don't eat every 2 hours. They really, did our parents pack us a lunch and a snack and everything? Hell no. Like, I mean, I could see me telling my mom, hey, Mom, I need 6 snacks today. But we were all hypoglycemic. We were all running around that as soon as that sugar would drop, we were awful and grouchy and everybody needing to eat. But the key, what I'm getting at is BRCA gene is rare, is rare to carry, but passing on metabolic disorders is everywhere.
Just want to say kudos to you, Rebecca, because you learned the direction that you wanted to go and you just started making steps, one step at a time, one step at a time. Once you find your place on the map where you want to go, you head that direction one step at a time. Doesn't matter. You don't have to run. You just walk. And it's one step after the other step after the other step. And you're so much better off. You're getting to the place that you're going.
Right. Right. No, yeah. And this is the only path. That's the thing that I think, I mean, I don't know of anything else. And I've been searching for years. And I have like, I don't know, an incredible memory and the ability to digest tons of information. And there's nothing that is proven like this. And we just got to get our stupid country like understanding this because people are dying left and right. And it's really a crime. So anyway, I'm just happy to be here. So
thank you.
Happy to
Thank
have
you,
Rebecca. I love you, warrior sister.
Thank you for bringing friends.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
they're the will.
All right, come on in, Dawn. Come and check in. Another one from our 21 day with some amazing numbers.
Yes.
Like
well,
teens.
I started doing keto about a year ago. As my husband found Dr. Boss, he has stage 4 kidney cancer. He's been tumor free for a year. And he said, Dawn, I really need you to do this with me. And I said, absolutely.
I feel you. I feel you.
And I had done pretty well. I was a little bit rebellious about some things. Like I will guess at my carbs. I'm not using a chronometer. I hate the chronometer. I don't want to guess, or I'm just going to guess. Was way overeating on carbs. Found that out right away.
It doesn't work.
But I still lost 45 pounds in this last year.
Sure.
But in the 21 days, I'm down 10 pounds in 21 days. And my numbers are so much better. I can't believe it. I ate my first sardine ever in this 21 days. Did not like them, but did it and was astounded by the numbers. Like I couldn't believe it. I was very skeptical. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But it worked to the point where a friend of mine who does keto and she's really
Nice,
resistant,
Clay.
she's really resistant. And I was telling her about the sardines and she said, I love sardines. So I was like, well, first of all, I'd never met anybody that loves sardines, but so she's been doing the sardines. And anyway, my blood pressure has gotten low in the last 21 days. I'm on blood pressure meds. I'm on 2 different blood pressure meds. They're in 1 capsule. But my blood pressure has lowered to the point where I kind of feel icky. I go to see the doctor soon, but my hair's not falling out as much. And just my skin doesn't seem as dry. In the last year, I was diagnosed with eosinophilic esophagitis, which is some sort of an autoimmune thing. And I was on prescription antacids. Came off those within this last year. Don't have to take those anymore. Diagnosed anxiety, depression. I no longer take Klonopin anymore.
Good for you.
So my goal is at least reduce the dosage of my blood pressure meds. That would be great. And my antidepressants. I would love to go off of those, but that's a little bit more difficult.
Yep. But that
really
gut-brain relationship for the anxiety and depression, I'm telling you, keep working on that gut, keep working on that bone broth, get that gut-brain connection healthy. And I'm telling you, the anxiety and depression goes away. I mean, I'm promising you that. I mean, it's amazing how much it gets better. And I'm saying from experience.
And I want to bring something up to everybody else too, because I'm always focused on her meds a lot. And I'm very regimented in, I kind of lay out her pills and I know what she takes and it's this, and on this day. When you go through this change and you go through this whole process, part of what we teach is paying attention to your body. That does not just mean your diet. That also means the meds that you are taking and how you feel with the meds that you're currently on, because your levels in your body are changing. Now that you're on this path, you are changing the input levels that your body receives. So that includes your meds at some point may need to change based on how you feel. So kudos to you for realizing that I don't feel quite right. I know what I'm doing, but I still don't feel quite right, and checking with your doctor. I mean, we're never going to back out of that. We stand behind that. You need to check with your doctor on things, but just be aware that things may need to change to feel even better.
And Dawn, I want to say to you, I don't know what I would ever do if I didn't have his support. I did it the first year without him, and it was really rough, and I kind of fell off and on, and it was just a struggle.
Didn't know how serious it was.
And when I finally looked at him and he jumped in with me, I'm only alive because he jumped in and did this with me. And I truly believe that. So it's one of the, kudos to you for jumping in with your hubby. And
there's nothing I wouldn't do. Nothing I wouldn't do. I'll put him first, but me, I don't need to put me first. But,
absolutely.
It turns out it was exactly what I needed, not just him.
Right?
Yep.
Yep. So
good job, Dawn.
Good job, and nice
Thank
to have
you.
you. Come on in, Tina.
Somebody else that's getting it done.
Right.
I feel like I'm not worthy. There's so many people with bigger problems than mine.
You're here. That's all that matters.
I'm here.
You have come a long way. And you know you have come a long way. So don't ever
underestimate that work.
Exactly. You if you don't have a diagnosis of anything, awesome, but I've seen how far you've come.
I do actually have a diagnosis. I have tachycardia, and I'm on a beta blocker for it. I actually forgot to take my beta blocker yesterday and woke up in the middle of the night with my heart rate around like 98. So I know I still need the beta blocker. I'm hoping one day I won't need it. But the cardiologist wanted to put me on Wegovy because she was worried about AFib. So I said, no, I don't want to do it. So I didn't tell her I was going to do keto, but I'd already decided at that point, I'm going to go ahead and try this. So I did. And I mean, I am losing some weight. I finally got the scale to budge, which was incredible. And then I've had some other great side effects besides that, weight loss. I just finished a 109-mile bike ride over 2.5 days.
Dang.
And
That's a lot.
I've done this ride before. This is my 5th year doing it. So that's not itself remarkable. What's remarkable is the 3rd day we stay in a hotel that has really steep stairs.
Oh,
And,
oh,
and I'm carrying
oh.
my luggage up and down the stairs, and all 4 years, it's just been a huge struggle to get up these stairs and down the stairs. And this year, I had absolutely no muscle soreness. I was just going up and down the
Awesome.
stairs like it was nothing.
I feel you, because I used to ride in college, and I know exactly. We did a metric century like in one day, so I couldn't hardly walk. I couldn't even get the bike on the car. It was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're exhausted. I mean, I've never hurt that bad, but kudos. That's awesome.
Ketones in circulation on something like that is just a complete win. I mean, my brother does Ironmans and triathlons and all those things. And I'm telling you, he got to talk with Boz, and Boz we got him in ketosis, kept him fueled on fats, and he makes it through the Ironman like he's a champ. He's just state highlight of the year in Ironmans. It's like,
good for you, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I even decided because normally I have like a 8-hour eating window. I said, I'm scratching the eating window, but I'm going to try to remain eating high fat, keto. And so I did, but I ate a huge volume of food, like way more than I needed to. And I was frankly surprised after the 2nd day, which was the hardest day, my ketones went up to like 5.6.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
It was,
yeah.
I think my DBR was like 12.
Sweet.
So keep going till it don't work.
Exactly. Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat till it stops working for you. Then we'll stretch you and push you to the next level. You got this, Tina. Nice work.
I gotta get on the bike again.
Yeah, do the bike and it'll get you going.
I love that. I love riding.
Right. Karen, you want to come check in? I always catch her off guard.
Catch everybody off guard.
I feel like I've jumped into a swirling whirlpool and it's about to spit me out the other end. And I'm like, what in the world did I just do?
Just hang on.
Hold on for the ride.
I'm going to have to find another homeless person to do my blood work for me, because this guy today said today's the last day he'd do my blood work. So either that or tomorrow y'all will get my real numbers. I don't know which it'll be.
I love it. Nice work, Karen. Again, Karen's in the 21 day and in my coaching group, and I'm just so proud of her because she's jumped in the deep end and never looked back. So, but she's got some amazing numbers. She's getting her chemistry going, and I'm proud of you, Karen. So.
Good job.
I just got to figure out how to do the day by day now.
Yep. And that's the hard part. The 21 days pushes you and teaches you that you can do it and what your body is capable of. Now it's the long term of learning how to make it a lifestyle. Yep. Now, how do we apply it? How do we do this every day? The 21 day kickstart is amazing, but day 22 and on is where we got to make it keep. You know, that is where you put your money to the test, because you do not want to blow all that money you just spent on that course. And if that's incentive, I don't know. If that's not incentive, I don't know what is, because you keep going on day 22 is when it pays off. So,
And I will
That's
say,
right.
don't disconnect right now.
Yeah.
Because stay connected. If you don't do anything else, stay connected, because you keep that like-minded circle going. You know, yes, there's life that happens. Yes, you'll fall back into what you thought was normal, but stay connected, because that'll bring you back around and keep you going.
yep. We're proud of you, Karen.
I
Nice
want to
to
say
meet
I'm proud of everybody that went through that 21 day. I mean, I really am, because that is a lot. That's a lot of information, and I'm just kudos to everybody.
He watches me. He knows how hard, even though he's never done it, he kind of does it on the side with me. And it's like, he knows how hard we push, and he knows how hard, first of all, just to get up every day and meet and connect and stay connected in that, and it runs your schedule, and you know, it's making your health a priority for 21 darn days is not easy to do. I mean, 21 days of your numbers accountability, checking in accountability, working on your chemistry, fixing those hurdles that you got to go over, figuring out your struggles. That is the beauty of the 21 days. Now it's just, let's make it all happen day 22 and on.
Yep.
So
Kudos to everybody.
yes, kudos. Who's next? Who we got? Come on in, Clay. Who we got left?
I've seen him
We
with
got
it.
Sarah, we got Valerie, and we got
Bubble water.
Bubble water. As somebody said earlier, I'm part of the 21 day challenge. I've been dabbling in all of these nutritional answers, but I have found that keto is the only thing that reverses metabolic illness. I mean, and I don't know if I coined this term. I think my wife told me Jason Fung beat me to it, but I called it diabesity, because I've had high blood pressure. I'm 55. I've been on high blood pressure medicine since I was 13. And I take seven different blood pressure medicines a day. I have to take medicine every 8 hours. So that's a huge issue. Been a diabetic for 20 years, been on insulin for 5 years. And in the 21 day challenge, you know, it's been a big success for me, because I've been able to really target in and isolate my why and get that like center in my mind. I've been able to, you know, connect and get that tribe going. Although we do have a local tribe, but I feel like I'll be a better tribe member in the Monday night group that I go to, which is Zoom as well. I've got support from my wife. I think my weight, I'm actually under 400. I started when I saw the neurologist in August. They said I weighed 442, but I carry about 12 pounds of gear on me everywhere I go, which is kind of insane with clothes and tools. And so I've lost 30 pounds in 30 days. And I haven't been worried about the scale at all. I just weighed twice in that. My Dr. Boz ratio today, I believe, was 122, which isn't double digits,
Okay,
but
but
it
wait
was
a minute.
No, where did you start?
I was
that?
going to say,
Where did you
Yeah,
start?
it was 700 when I started,
yes.
which is, I didn't even know that her ratio went that high.
Oh yeah.
So Clay,
but
I
I've
just want to come
reduced.
in and I'm
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
proud of Clay's numbers were stratosphere high. Like, we're talking, dude, we need to get you going and get you going. I mean, Dr. Boss
Now.
literally said, kick his butt. Like, let's get him going. Let's get him going and keep him on track. And it's one of those things. Clay's one of those people that you just take my hand, dude, we got you. And he jumped in with both feet, and he didn't argue. He did the process, worked the process. And when he says 122, I know we all try to say get that DBR under 100, but for him to go from stratosphere numbers to a DBR of 122 while on medications, while on heart disease, having blood pressure issues, having all these issues, and he got it down to 122. Clay, I am so proud of you.
That's awesome, dude.
And you keep going.
Don't let anybody take that away from you, man.
And I'm just saying,
Clay-
on day 22, you
my,
got to keep.
my wife said to tell you she's so thankful for y'all, but I wasn't sure I could say that without starting crying. And it's been a heck of a year. So I met Dr. Boz. My wife and I met her last October.
She remembered you.
4 weeks later, my mother died. I preached her funeral. And then my wife's best friend died. Then her sister-in-law died. And then my sister that I cared for 20 years died suddenly. And I preached her funeral in June. I mean, it's been something else. So I'm
Clay,
so
what that's
thankful to
saying,
be here.
what that is saying is, and Clay's the example for all of us, because life is going to happen. It doesn't stay easy. It doesn't stay, a quick fix. It doesn't stay any of that, but you got to learn to navigate through that and push forward. You really do. And those kind of things will, that is where your tribe comes in. That is where being with like-minded people come in, and that you have a wife that supports you and your family around you. Now you get to be the man of the family and lead. And that's just the beauty of it. So we're proud of you.
The other thing too, once you know better, you do better.
Yeah,
and now you have your chance
through
to
the
do
whole
better.
through the whole process that I could if you know what a genogram is, like when you make a chart of your life, I could almost take a genogram of all the little things. And somebody said, you didn't get where you are in a few years. I mean, it took
absolutely
a decade. And so I'm so thankful for all the little nuggets that have been unearthed and excavated that show me, so I can turn around and look and see where I was, and I know where I'm going. And I'm a big y'all are gonna laugh. I look like a mountain man, but my reward for doing a 72-hour fast is I get to buy a Shirley Temple movie for our digital library. Isn't that crazy? I mean,
you gotta have
hilarious.
your treat, man. At least it's a pint of ice cream or something,
Hey, we'll take Shirley Temple movie any day.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Zero fat.
I mean,
Zero fat.
And it's just, I get emotional when I think about the things that God has done in my life. I mean, that's really what it is. But he's gentle, he's kind, he lessens our burden. And I can look back and see all the places where he picked me up and carried me to get there. And I like a child that's screaming and saying, no, I'm not tired. I fussed and fought many times, but I'm so excited to be where I am. And somebody in our group said, I don't care if I lose the weight or not. I've lived big. I'm 6'3", 400 pounds. I've been Keith said he weighed 160. I weighed 160 in 4th grade. So I've been big my whole life. I'll stay big and fat as long as I can be healthy, which we know you can't, but y'all know what I'm saying. For me, it's about
when your cells
it's about getting free.
Yes, when your cells get healthy, that weight's going to come off. And that is one of the things that you guys hear my frustration. I struggle with losing the weight. Hang on, we got background noise. I struggle with the weight too. And those things, it's one of those, when the cells get healthy, the weight will come off. So it's fixing that metabolic health, that weight's going to come off. Clay, we are so proud of you. And I'm just so honored to be a part of your team too. So I'm glad you're here. Stay connected. Don't jump ship. Yep. That's all we got to say.
Nice job, brother.
Boz's orders.
Clay has a saying I have to tell everybody. It's something along the lines of, I've got 150-pound man that's jumping out of me and never returning.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Yeah. I told somebody, if my neuropathy reverses and heals, I'm throwing a funeral for it.
That's right.
Hey, I'm going to be with you, because that's what got me on with Boz too, was neuropathy. Yeah. So if anybody's ever had neuropathy pain, it is awful. I've had natural childbirth, chemo, mastectomy, everything else, and neuropathy is one that makes you, yeah. It's rough. So, Valerie, do you want to come check it? Hang on, we got you muted, hun. Nancy, are you checking in tonight or are you snoozing?
Hi, everybody.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you for letting me join this group.
Absolutely.
I'm a friend of Rebecca, and I did the last, the January 21 day in a group with her, and I love her to death. And I basically have been doing keto on and off for a long time, and finding Dr. Boz was really a gift. At that time, I was diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma, so I was really trying to heal myself from within. I know there's a lot worse, but also having a lot of issues with my bowels being very always having diarrhea, basically. So I did the 21 day, and then I did the fasting for the 3-day fast for 8 weeks.
Nice.
And I did feel like I was a new person. It was very powerful to be doing that. I'm not perfect like Dr. Boz. I just went to my 50th high school reunion
Wow.
2 weeks ago. And I ended up getting COVID. A bunch of us got sick. There's several viruses going around. My COVID lasted for 5 days, but I also brought it home to my 95-year-old mother. And when
Oh,
you're
no.
talking about neuropathy, that little woman has terrible neuropathy, and I didn't realize how painful it was until you guys just told me. Oh my God. I'm like, here, did you take your tramadol? And I've tried to buy a gadget or something like to put her feet on, and she doesn't like it. And I just never knew it was so horrible. You just shocked me. I'm a caregiver to my parents. It'll be 10 years in March. My dad died 2 years ago. It's been a journey. What was so interesting about my reunion is how many people my age, I'm 67, have been that person for their parents. And it puts us in a group, it puts us in a club where we see the pain and the anguish of our failing parents. And it just is so heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see anybody doing that. But when my mom says, did you ever think you'd be taking care of me, like in the simple ways of getting her in her pajamas and things like that. And I think she thinks I'm probably more I'm probably more strict than she was to me, but I'm grateful to be around a tribe that is striving to do better. I have a daughter who is definitely obese, and she's restricted me from talking to her about anything. She says she has boundaries, a word I've never heard until, the last 5-10 years from my adult 35-year-old daughter.
Right.
So I just only can really pray that I can set an example. But I have been a yo-yo dieter my whole life. So I feel I did not set a good example. I was always trying, but it wasn't a huge amount of weight, but it was always a monkey on my back. And so for having 2 daughters, and they like to say, that I was responsible for a lot of their issues. But I myself was a daughter of parents that were on, the high protein diets of the 70s and the shakes. So it's a cycle. And I feel like with intermittent fasting and the way Dr. Boz teaches, I feel like we have found the fountain of youth, or we have something so powerful that we can rely on, even if we fall down a few times. We know it works, and just knowing we know it works is so powerful. So that's pretty much where I'm at. I do stumble, but I get back up, and I believe in this so wholeheartedly. And I just love the people that I've met. And thank you, Rebecca, for inviting
Valerie,
me.
your story can be repeated in so many people that you don't even realize.
Yep.
First of all, kudos to you for loving on your mama and daddy.
Yep.
And, that's an honor that a lot of people don't get is to be able to do that, even though as hard as it is and diligent as it is. When we're watching our parents, though, that have went through, I guess, the learning from their mistakes. And, you know, what's more of a mother's love than for you to get healthy in front of your mama's eyes, you know, for you to turn your stuff around. There's nothing more a mama wants to see than her baby's healthy. And you are still her baby, and you getting healthy, whether she understands the process or what you're doing, doesn't matter. You're leading by example. And those girls, those kids that you have that are watching you and don't want to talk about it, don't want to hear about it, they're watching you. You're planting seeds. And when they're ready, when they want to find an answer and they know that the answer that they have and the one they're doing isn't working, you've planted a seed, they know where to go. I mean, kudos to you.
Those
And
boundaries will change.
yeah, they will. And just stay put and keep going. You will get there. And then you are planting those seeds for the next generation coming up, and letting your girls watch you do it is amazing. So good for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Welcome to the
Welcome to
group.
the tribe.
Who we got left? Sarah. Sarah,
I'm gonna say something real quick before Sarah gets on here. She has been putting in miles this whole time. We've been watching her go around, and I don't know where she's at, but she's going around and around. It's like, I'm impressed.
I need to be able to walk and talk at the same time. Yeah, that ain't happening. Come on in, girl. Come and check in. And hang on, we got you muted.
Unmute. There we go. Okay. Hi.
Hello and welcome.
Yes, I just walked for. Thank you. Yes.
What'd you walk?
Perfect time. 4 miles.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yes. Hi. I you probably see my stuff in Facebook, I guess. So I posted there this morning of kind of how I was doing, and I was feeling very overwhelmed, but I'm feeling a little more relieved now, I guess. I don't know. I've been playing with my fat and protein ratios lately. And I don't know. I feel like when I try to go high fat, I end up really hungry all day. And then, so today, like I started with some eggs with butter, and then for lunch, I just kind of went crazy with the protein, and I just had a ton of protein, and I wasn't hungry all afternoon. And so I don't know, but like my energy is still like, I've only used like 80% of my day's energy. So I don't know, like I worry that I'm under eating when I have too much protein. But I don't know.
Sarah,
your brain's in overdrive. I'm going to tell you that right
say.
now. You're thinking about this way too hard.
I just want to, that's exactly what it's getting at, is you can ask every veteran on this page.
Yeah.
You just got to slow it down.
Yeah.
You got to quit thinking of too many directions. Step number 1, carbs under 20.
Yeah.
Step number 2, meeting those fat macros. Step number 3, filling up on protein after that. The rest comes after you master that. When you're saying you eat fats and you're hungry, it's waking up leptin and ghrelin. You're waking up those fat-based hormones that have been dormant. So we want you to feel hungry, then we want you to feel full. We want you to feel that, because that means those hormones are starting to work again. So don't look at it as a fail that you're hungry. Look at it as a win of, hey, my body's finally giving me the signals that hormones are supposed to be giving you. So take it as a success. It's a season. It won't stay that way, but you want those hormones to be working again. So I just encourage you, don't overthink the numbers. Don't overthink the process. You've got to
gets me. I feel like I'm just eating too much protein.
Until you're down the pike, you don't even worry about that.
I was going to say that needs to be on down the pike first.
You don't even worry about that.
Okay. I mean, hit your fat macros first, because what you want to do is you want to train yourself to be a fat burner.
Yeah.
In doing that, you have to present the fat as a fuel for your body to say, oh, guess what? I can use this. But you have to take away the sugar totally. Right. That way it makes that switch, but it'll take a while to make that switch. And once it makes that switch, then you got to be consistently giving it the amount of fat it needs. So you keep stoking that fire, building that bigger and bigger, and getting that hunger going for the fat. Then, only then, do you start to play with your protein and fat ratio. And I can tell you from experience, once I got that machine running, I was at a 3-to-1 fat to protein ratio at one point. So for every bite of protein, I had 3 bites of fat on it that I needed. If not, I was dead tired. I mean, I was like, I hit a wall.
Now, mind you, he's a man, so his hormones are a little different than ours. But the biggest thing with you, Sarah, and every newbie on here, when you're doing this, it's you're trying to bite the whole elephant at one time.
One bite. One bite.
I want you to just, girl, my heart just, I love your tenacity of jumping in and saying, I got this. I'm going to do it all at one time. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a chemistry shift going. That doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen all at one time. So concentrate on one thing at a time. When you master that, then you move to the next step. Don't worry about it all. Don't be counting calories. Don't be worried about your exercise goals. Don't be worrying about
your
energy tracking. Don't be worrying about any of that right now. Carbs under 20, hit your fat macro, fill up on protein.
And track. Do your morning blood.
Morning glucose is the only one that
That's
matters.
it. That's the only time test. I mean, to start out, save your money on your strips until you get on down the line where you need them to say, hey, does this affect me? Does that affect me?
Right.
You can burn them up really quick. You're not getting the data that you need. You need that morning one. That's it.
That morning waking glucose, does everybody understand
basis.
that? That morning waking glucose is the one that we go by to tell your metabolic health. That is the one that matters. Dorothy, you're gonna jump in?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Sarah, I've done what you're doing twice, and all it did was cause me to binge eat.
I feel like I binge eat on the protein.
Yep.
No, I was binge eating on carbs. So my hat's off to you for staying with the proteins. But
Yeah, I want to say I'm proud of you for getting on camera too.
I know.
Yes.
me too.
You can think about it this way
Stay
too.
the course with us.
If you look at a brick wall, that brick wall was not built in one piece. It was one brick at a time. And you have to build your chemistry the same way to get that wall up as high as you need it. So it's one brick after another brick after another brick. Those are steps. You got to lay the foundation correctly. Then you can build as high as you want to go.
And you will get there. Please be patient with yourself, but give yourself some grace. And just know this, Lance and I, when we first started this, we had ribeyes to break our fast with every week.
Oh, they were huge.
They were, I mean, I used to always teasing that it's like I fed a family of 4 on a less meat than this.
We had we had them specially cut at 2 inches.
They were
bone-in ribeyes, 2-inch thick.
They were amazing, and we would scarf it like that whole thing would go down. I mean, they had to be 2-pound ribeyes.
And we wiped out all the work we did.
And we would keep filling up that liver. We'd fast, and then we'd celebrate with that big old ribeye, and then we'd go back and fill that liver back up, and we'd start all over. Naturally, through the years of doing this, that same, I can't even say the same ribeye because we get them cut half the size now, but that much meat feeds us for days now. It naturally comes down. Right now it's getting the fats, getting those carbs low and fats high to hit those macros to wake those hormones up. Then the protein will navigate later. That is the least of your worries. Boz will even say that to you. Quit worrying about the protein. The carbs and the fat first. So it's a carnivore mindset, but a keto chemistry. You got to keep those ketones in circulation for the health. I don't know how old you are, but you look pretty darn young. So if any of us older people could give you some advice, get those ketones in circulation now.
Patience. You got this. You got this.
You got this.
Let me just tell you, I was eating at a Ryan's buffet one time, believe it or not, and 4 men were next to me that were older. They were war veterans, and I heard that they were, I think, 78 or 79. And so I just ate, and once they were done, I asked them, I said, can I ask you, as somebody 20 years behind you guys, what's the one thing you would tell me? And they all looked at each other, and I could see something just come over their faces. And they said, you want the truth? And I said, yeah. They said, it's not going to get better. They said it is nothing when you hit 50, it is nothing but trouble. And so, I mean, that echoes with me. And we've talked about our aging parents. My mother, who died at 93, and my sister, who died, she died at 57. And we used to say, our generation, us and our peers from high school, we're terrible health compared to our parents. I mean, my mother was 40 when I was born, and she seemed like she was great until about 80, and she was almost 94. So please, 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 if you're, I mean, if you're in your 30s or 40s or 20s, please make sure to do all of this. The chemistry, get the sleep, fix your sleep, fix your relationships, and fix your way of thinking, because it gets harder with every day that goes by. It's going to get harder and harder, and more damage is going to be done to your body.
Yeah. Come on in, Sarah. We're just proud of you, and we're glad you're here, honey.
What'd you say? I didn't.
What'd you say? Are you 40?
Oh, I'm 42.
Girl.
Go, girl. You can still be the baby of the group. So,
hey, I'm not the baby anymore.
I just want to say, you can tell Clay's been married a lot of years because he started guessing her weight or her age, not her weight, her age, and he kept like moving the number down. I thought that's a clever man. Okay?
Good save.
Well, and I also hope that there's
and he's
lots
a pastor,
of people.
so you know.
I hope there's a lot of people watching on YouTube too, and you know, you can only look forward, but you turn around and try to offer encouragement to anybody that'll give you the time, you know, a minute. And it's so much easier. You can change lives by noticing somebody, realizing that they're created in the image of God, and giving them a blessing in some way, a piece of encouragement. And I try to live that every day.
Absolutely, man.
Good job. Welcome aboard, Sarah. We're glad you're here, hon.
Yes.
Come on in, Nancy.
Way to go. 4 miles. That's awesome.
I need to learn to walk and talk at the same time.
Hi, Nancy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
You blowing away down there yet?
Yes.
Yes, you guys
are you safe? Are you good?
Oh, we're good. We're far enough inland. I mean, the last I watched on the news, it was 44 miles an hour wind here. I did go walking in the rain this morning, 30 minutes. Oh, early afternoon maybe. And then
a little dancing in the rain.
Well, no, I used to, but no, I didn't today. And then I went walking 30 minutes later on in the day. It was so nice and sunny, but it was starting to get windy. I mean, your thoughts go, should I be out here?
Right.
It was good. It was fine. It's fine. This is really nothing compared to the folks on the coast. I just hope that people stay safe overnight, because they're going to have a storm surge. Some places up as high as 20 feet, which is
that's what I heard. I'm watching it actually on my cell phone right now. So
yeah.
Oh,
it went up to a category 4.
Yep.
Well, we're glad you're safe and inland enough.
Yes.
It's not matter, but
yeah, thank you. I'm glad I'm inland. So my numbers, my DVRs have been since mid-September have been in the 20s. One day it was 31.
Wow.
But you know, I put that cream in my coffee. I don't really want to admit it, but my numbers, they're staying around 80. You know, 70s and 80s. So I'm like, so I did have my coffee this morning, but tomorrow I'm scheduled not to have my coffee for the next 3 days, or the creamer anyway. Yeah. So we'll see what it does to my numbers.
Nice.
It'll help.
Yeah. I mean, like Tammy, you know, fits in my, I'm not hardly doing any carbs at all, you know.
Yeah. Fits in my numbers, but not in my body.
I'm gonna say it's where you want to be. I mean, if you want to be in the 70s, 80s, I mean that's up to you. No, but you know what it takes to where you want to go.
I haven't felt like I've been very low energy, exhausted. I don't know for how long. It feels like forever, but it's not. But I tweaked my what do you call it there? My goals. And so it brought my calories down. So I'm thinking, so I heard you, Lance, say something about, if you're going down on your calories, that could be, it doesn't seem like it's much, but I'm fighting it, and my DBRs are good. So I'm just going to keep, I'm going to keep pushing it because, I want to feel better.
Oh yeah, just ride right where you're at.
Keep it out there.
You know how to make it happen. Just get there and do it.
Yeah.
Keep doing.
Well, this is the best stretch I've ever had.
Yeah,
I'm so proud.
I'm
Look
impressed.
how far you've come, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Nancy, a few months ago, I mean,
she was everything we said was no.
She'd get so mad at us.
Well, I just, it's like even the fasting, it's like, how the hell am I going to do that?
Right.
Now you can do it.
And I'm not there yet. I'd like to be, but
hey, you ate sardines.
It'll happen.
Oh yeah, my stomach still, I haven't recovered from that.
It'll happen.
You will. You're getting there. We're just proud of you, Nancy, and all the work that you.
Yeah, so I'm glad to be where I am. I'm grateful. So thank you.
Good for you,
We're
dear.
proud of you. We are.
Stay safe, girl.
Yeah, stay safe, and everybody say a prayer for Dr. Boz. She's right there on Tampa Bay, so say a prayer.
She's in the midst of it right now.
The other thing we want to throw out: October classes are open. With Dr. Boz's class, I'm a little behind getting everything out and updated, so I apologize for anything. Get over on the website and in the big group. I will get posts going tomorrow and over the weekend. We'll be getting everything out. If you want in October's classes, please let me know. We'll send you a direct link if we have to get everybody going. So we will get there. Come on into groups, stay in there, keep doing those check-ins in the morning. Let me know how you're doing. I love looking down through there and seeing how everybody's doing. So we got moderators over there that can help cheer you on. If you're struggling, put your questions over there. If you're winning, share it over in that group.
If you're struggling, share it in the group.
If you're winning, share it in the group.
That's right.
It's one of the, but go over it. If anybody wants in classes, please know, reach out and we'll get you in, even if I don't have the posts all up and things like that. So we're getting there. We're going to play catch up this weekend. Next week, we'll regroup and be doing it. Some things we're working on is we got Breast Cancer Awareness Month coming up, and it's, one of those near and dear to my heart. So we're hoping to reach out to some breast cancer survivors to share some stories. Hint, hint, Rebecca. So it's surprise. So it's just, we want to share how much this journey can help turn our health around. And, there's not a lot of answers for breast cancer or any cancer survivors. There's not a lot of answers when you get done. You get to ring the bell and they say, woohoo, you're done. And I remember walking out and ringing the bell and sitting on the curb.
That's when it starts.
I remember sitting on the curb of oncology while my husband went and got the car and brought it to me because I couldn't even walk to the car. And it's those moments of, I remember bawling because it's like, we're so thankful to be alive, and God forbid you complain or say anything because you're just thankful to be alive. But I remember bawling thinking, who the hell am I? And this is not my life as I left it.
Now what?
Now what do we do? And it is such a journey, and we are so blessed to be on this journey with each and every one of you. And we all know somebody that has been touched by cancer. And I hope next month October, we're going to try to celebrate as many of you as we can get in and help each other along. So we love y'all. We'll see you over in the group this week, and everybody have a
stay
good night.
engaged.
All right. We love you guys. Have a good night.
Have a great week.